What a pleasure to be among you. Thank you so much for the warm welcome. For a moment, if you could, imagine life in Gaza, where unemployment is around 40% and even higher for women and young people, where the number of residents living in abject poverty has tripled in recent years, and where Hamas, which rules Gaza, imposes moral standards enforced by the police on what is and what is not proper behavior. Now imagine being a journalist in Gaza, where Israeli forces raided 2 Palestinian television stations in confiscating equipment and archives this year, and where security forces for Hamas cracked down on media covering peaceful pro-unity demonstrations last year, and where both Israel and Hamas jail Palestinian journalists for any perceived violations of official protocol. This is the world of Asmaa al-Ghoul, the courageous journalist you're about to meet. She has worked at newspapers since she was a teenager in Gaza, and today she is a regular contributor to the popular daily al-IWMF, which is based in Ramallah. Her most groundbreaking story was about an open letter to her uncle, a senior Hamas official, entitled, "Dear Uncle, is this the homeland we want?" She used the example of her uncle to assail Hamas policies and treatment of the people of Gaza. And she sharply criticized him for abetting the oppression of Gaza by forcing Hamas's Islamic views on the population. And she also recalled his using the family home to interrogate and also to beat members of the political group Fatah. The article was published in multiple languages, and as you might gather, it garnered a lot of attention. It also caused her to endure death threats from her uncle and also condemnation from members of the Gaza leadership. Members of her family called her and they begged her to quit writing and to apologize. She would not stop. In 2011, she was beaten while covering a solidarity gathering between Palestinians and Egyptians. 2 months later, she was one of 7 journalists assaulted and tortured by Hamas security forces while reporting on rallies calling for Hamas to reconcile with Fatah. And today, she still gets death threats, not only against her life, but also against the life of her young son. Often posted anonymously, they say that they will burn her alive and destroy her family. But still, she does not stop. She writes, exposing corruption, violence, and perverse perceptions of right and wrong wherever she finds them, reporting about the struggle of all the people in Gaza to have basic human rights. She says, quote, "When you cover these issues, you are struggling in the streets with the people." She has written about Najla, who was strangled in her sleep by her extremist brother after he became uncomfortable that his sister was spending hours away from home working as an administrative assistant. She has written about the children who were killed in the crossfire of the 2008-2009 war between Hamas and Israel. She has written about Hamas police forcing wives to return to abusive husbands. In the chaotic tug of war for control over the fate of Gaza and its people, she has the courage to step right into the fray and use the power of journalism to demand an answer to the question, why? Before you meet her, she has asked me to present her husband, Tamer, and her 2-month-old daughter, Zaina, who are here in our audience. Would you please stand, Tamer? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome 2012 Courage in Journalism Award winner Asmaa al-Ghoul.